Hi guys! So today I'm going to go over how I like to contour, what kind of products I like to use, any tips or tricks that I have. But first I'm going to show you how I contour on a day-to-day basis along with some tips, and then I'm going to get into the products that I enjoy using. What I always look for in, I know, it's horrible, it's dirty. What I always look for in a contour palette and or contour shade is the grayest of gray contours, because if you do anything too warm, it's just going to look like you over bronzed, and shadows are mostly gray, and you want them in the hollows of your cheek. So like right now, I have a hollow in my cheek just because that's a natural hollow. That one's not as deep, but that's what contour's for, is to deepen that hollow. And shadows are gray, and so I always look for a gray toned shadow or gray toned contour shade. So my favorite is this one over here, and it's called Subconscious. And I'll show you guys the back so you guys can see. So you know how I choose my powders. So I'm going to get into what I've been using every day when I go to class or if I go to work. So I use two different brushes depending on the day to do my contour. And I always start out with my Sigma Chisel and Trim Contour Brush, and it is an F77. Like, hello. Like, it's like super narrow. Like, it can fit right, perfect. This was a Valentine's Day gift from myself to me. So I'm just going to start by dabbing my brush into Subconscious and hitting off the excess. And I'm just going to go in where I want my desired contour to be. So I'm actually going to use this mirror because I need a mirror. So I'm just going to go in with it, and you'll see that it's kind of dark right now, but that's the whole point of a contour, okay? But you can even see from looking at me just from the front, I have a hollowed cheekbone. Okay, we're just going to do the other side.
Okay.
So now that we've got that done and under control, I'm going to go in with my next Sigma brush. I'm using the Sigma Large Angle Contour Brush in F40. And so this is what this looks like. These are always a great contour brush because it's tapered, so it can get right in that hollow and clean anything out. I also use this sometimes if I don't want a harsh of a contour, as I do today. Tip and trick if you do go too harsh, okay? My first tip would be take whatever excess foundation, excess, what do you want to call it? Concealer, anything that's still on your beauty blender, and just kind of take it and just go right on top of it, okay? So you can kind of see that it kind of shadowed it, and sometimes if it's too gray, or if it's too warm for you, this will make it a little bit more gray by mixing it with the foundation, okay? So then I'm just going to go in again. Once you're done with your contour, I always go in with my bronzer next. And the best part about these new contour kits that they're coming out with is they have the contour shades and bronzer shades. Okay, so I was never one to bronze. I was never one to, do that because I always thought it made me look either too tan, and that's what my foundation's for, okay? But no, it gives you definition where you need definition. It makes things smaller like the contour does. So when I bronze, I normally take these two colors in the Kat Von D palette, and they are called Sombre and Shadow Play, sorry. And if I'm feeling it, I'll throw Subconscious in there. But I take that on a big fluffy powder brush, as you can see here. Oh my gosh, I love this brush. So this is the Sigma Large Powder Brush in F30. So this is what it looks like. And then the tip, it's very So I just take that and I dab it into those colors. You're not picking up too much, but just getting just the right amount. and I'm just going to tap off the excess. I'm going to go in on my hairline, okay? And this will give me an definition on my forehead. So as you can see, that kind of brought it in a little bit. So I'm just going to take on the other side. I'm just going to go in again with it. Our last step for contouring, if you're going to do the whole face, is your jawline. So with your foundation and powder, I always bring it down my neck so I don't have that like chiseled, I don't know how to do my makeup line. So I always bring it down no matter what kind of foundation I'm doing, no matter what kind of day I'm doing, I'll always bring it down. But I always like to take the lighter of the two. So in this case, the lighter of the two is Shadow Play, and I'm just going to take Shadow Play on the big fluffy brush, the Sigma one I just used, large powder F30 brush. If you have already forgotten what brush it was, I have. And I just put it on my jawline. And this A makes me look like I have a jaw. So if you can see, it gives me that natural shadow. And I will do it on the other side. And I don't use the darker of the two shades because I feel like if I use the too dark of shade, then it's just not fun, you know? And so I always just do that. And so as you can now see that I have the natural shadow going on. Now my next tip for you ladies who have never contoured and you're just kind of not, you don't want to get into contouring, but you do want to try some bronzing. My favorite way to, on a day that I'm like, I'm late, I woke up late, I need to get to class, but let's be real, even if I wake up late, I'm going to put makeup on. I mean, that's just how it goes. So I'm going to take the lighter shade, and this could be any sort of compact, you don't need a kit for this. This is probably the easiest way to do it. All you got to remember is 3. So 3 is your magic number. You know, it's always been said that magic 3, you know, anything, okay, 3. Just remember 3. So, and what I mean by 3 is you're going to take from your temple, or a little bit, so your temple, a little bit above your temple, bring it down, go into your contour, and then bring it back and go down. And it creates a 3. So if you start here, and you bring, it's the 3 method. Okay, so I'll just show you that really fast. I put less on the side so I could show you. So just dab it into whatever you're using and go like this and go in and go out and go this and go in and go out. You know, you just kind of get it, going. And this helps give definition. Okay, and so it's, you don't want to put, if you've ever seen anything on Instagram, they always highlight under the eyes, they highlight the nose, they highlight the chin, because that's the middle of the face, and that's what you want to bring out and have look great. Okay, now with contour, that's what you want sunken in. You want something to be that, that chiseled look, okay? If, you know, you would like to see, or if you have any questions, because it can be really confusing and overwhelming if you've never contoured before. So please leave me some questions and some comments. And again, you know, anything that may help you in the long run with contouring, because contouring can be an amazing thing. Amazing. It was life-changing for me. So yeah. So I'm first going to get into the brushes that I use. I'm just going to reiterate the fact that I love Sigma, and I love Sigma brushes. No, this is not sponsored, even though I would really love it if it was. No, I'm just kidding. I did buy everything myself. Nothing was, you know, sent to me. I'm not that famous, you know, but so I do love the Sigma Chisel Contour F77 brush. And if you're new to Sigma's brushes, the F is for face and the E is for eyes, if that helped. I didn't know that for a while, but I love that one to get in the hollows of my cheeks. My next favorite contour brush from Sigma is the Large Angled Contour F40. And so again, that's the tapered brush that we have that can get right in there. The next brush that I have is the Sigma Large Powder F30 brush, and so this is what that looks like. And again, the big powder to do the forehead, to do the 3 method, and to do the your jawline. The next brush that I love to contour with is the Real Techniques sculpting brush, and this is, well, you know what, they're very inexpensive. It does have the tapered end, just like the Sigma Large Angled Contour F40, so they're like sister brushes. This is a little bit fluffy, and this is a lot more dense. There's more bristles to it. They kind of do the same thing, but it really depends on what I'm looking for to get that contoured look. Two brushes that are more inexpensive that you can get at the drugstore is this Ulta blush brush. It is tapered, so if you can see that it has a little bit of a taperedness, you know, that can get right in there. And then the one that reminds me most of the Sigma brush is the e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. Okay, so this is, again, let me put up against my pale skin. This is, again, the tapered look that matches the average contour. So you get right in there and you just kind of get it right in there and you just chisel. You just chisel it out. I'm sorry, that was unnecessary. Okay, now, like I said, you know, what I showed you and what I used in this tutorial was the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Disclaimer, I did get this on Wish. The app Wish, if you don't know about it, please go figure it out because it is amazing. It was life-changing. This is probably not the exact contour palette, but you want to know what? I think it is. Okay, I definitely think that it is perfect, and I have swatched I went to Sephora and I did swatch the actual Shade and Light palette. It's a dupe. Okay, it is the exact same. You know, it's the exact same. The powders are exactly the same. You know, I love it. I won't go back. I think this was 15, 16, 17. In that, it was not over 20. As with the Kat Von D palette, it's like $50 to $60. So this is what I love. I'm sorry if I'm blinding you. So I love this. Again, the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. It is the knockoff version from Wish, but that's okay. Now, something that was quite expensive, that is very well known on YouTube, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I have the light to medium version. Okay. This was life-changing. This was me. This was me. This was my first contour palette. I love this palette. It's the same technique, okay? So it has the 3 contour bronze shades, and then it has the 3 highlighter under eye setting powder shades. Everyone knows this shade by the banana shade because it is the best for setting your under eye. Sadly, I can't set it with that. I'm a little bit too pale or too tan. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. But I love this highlighter shade. I think that is gorgeous for the tops of my cheekbones. And no, I have not highlighted yet. I have not highlighted yet. And then I do love the 3 shades at the bottom. I did use this in a tutorial. And I'll show you how I use this if you'd like me to see it. If you'd like a full video and review on this product, please let me know in the comments below. Like this video, give it a thumbs up. Everyday look. If I'm not going for a full-on chiseledness. That should be a song. Chisel. No, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not good at singing. I'm sorry. So yeah. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am loving making videos for you guys. I love experimenting with makeup, and I just love makeup in general. I hope that you guys are having a great day. I hope that you are contouring beautifully and chiseling out your cheekbones. Now, if you'd like to meet any recommendations, or if you need reviews or tips or tricks on contouring more in depth, I can go definitely more in depth. I would love to do that for you guys. And if you have any more recommendations of things that you use to contour, I know a lot of YouTubers use certain shades and shadows that they like to use, so they just skip the whole contour kit thing because they like a particular shade. The Anastasia does come in doubles. The Anastasia does come in removable, so these do come out. I'm not going to take it out, but they do come out. So once I'm done with fawn, I'm going to take them all out and just buy 6 fawns. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm sorry for the length of this video. There was just a lot of information that, you know, learning how to contour, in my opinion, is more in depth than just saying, hey, you know, you can chisel and you go. You know, I definitely think there's more to it than just that. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and you will get notified whenever I update any videos, whenever I post anything. And if you made it this far, I really hope that you guys had a really good day and that you are staying gorgeous and chiseling out your face. So, bye guys.